Welcome to Lesson 5 of Month 5. In the last lesson we delivered apps. Now we'll control how devices are configured and whether they meet our security bar. There are two distinct jobs here: configuration profiles that set things on a device, and compliance policies that check the device against rules. We'll also see how compliance plugs into conditional access to actually block risky devices. The single most important idea in this lesson is the difference between configuration and compliance. A configuration profile sets something on a device, like a Wi-Fi profile or a screen lock timeout. A compliance policy checks something, evaluating the device against rules and reporting whether it is compliant or non-compliant. Configuration changes the device, compliance only judges it. Keep that clear and the rest of the lesson falls into place. When you need a setting applied everywhere, you create a configuration profile. These push settings such as a Wi-Fi profile, a VPN connection, or a screen lock timeout. You author them with the settings catalog, which is a searchable list of thousands of individual settings, or with pre-built templates for common scenarios. Then you assign the profile to Microsoft Enter groups of users or devices, just like apps. If you come from a traditional Active Directory background, administrative templates will feel familiar. They are the cloud answer to on-premises group policy, exposing the same ADMX-style settings you use to manage with the group policy editor. This makes it easier to translate existing group policy knowledge into Intune for cloud-managed devices, and they sit within the broader settings catalog experience. Here are the portal steps. In the Intune Admin Center, go to Devices, then Configuration, then Create New Policy. Choose the Windows platform, then pick either Settings Catalog or a template. Add the settings you want, then move to the Assignments tab and choose the groups that should receive them. That's the full configuration flow. A compliance policy is a set of rules a device must satisfy. Typical rules include requiring BitLocker, setting a minimum operating system version, requiring a password, and checking that Microsoft Defender is healthy. Intune evaluates the device against these rules on a schedule and stamps it compliant or not compliant. The key point is that compliance reports, it does not fix anything. Turning BitLocker on is a configuration job, not a compliance job. Under Actions for Non-Compliance, you decide what happens when a device fails a rule. You can send the user an email, mark the device non-compliant after a delay, or even remotely lock it. A grace period delays that non-compliant mark for a number of days, giving the user time to remediate before they lose access. This softens enforcement and cuts down on the sudden lockout tickets that flood the Helpdesk. Compliance becomes powerful when it feeds conditional access. A conditional access policy in Microsoft Entra can require that a device be marked compliant before it can reach resources like Exchange Online or SharePoint. So if a laptop fails its compliance policy, conditional access blocks it from corporate email until it is fixed. Compliance produces the verdict, and conditional access enforces it. That is how the two halves connect. In practice, you pair them. A configuration profile enables BitLocker and sets a password policy, while a compliance policy verifies those same controls and reports the result to conditional access. One enforces and the other audits. Working together, they ensure that only healthy, properly configured devices are allowed onto the network and into company data. Let's recap. Configuration profiles set settings on a device, compliance policies check the device against rules and report. You author profiles with the settings catalog or administrative templates, and compliance feeds conditional access to block unhealthy devices. For your task, create a Windows configuration profile that sets a screen lock timeout and assign it, then create a compliance policy requiring BitLocker and a minimum OS version with a short grace period, and describe how conditional access could use that compliant state to block a non-compliant device from email.